Good morning. Welcome to another day of the Worthy Beyond Purpose Social Distancing Bliss Meditations. We are here to help you bring a little peace and calm into these days of so much uncertainty and with so much of the unknown. Yesterday, Jess, one of the other Worthy Beyond Purpose teachers, and I were talking about the sound of the birds. And I have to say, just this moment, I don't know if it's going to come into a frame, a hummingbird just flew into my patio and around all the flowers. It just flew back away. Really amazing. Just the sound of the birds here in the outside of my patio and backyard. And so today, I think we're just going to do a silent meditation together. Once we start, I'll give a couple minutes just to let people sign on if they want to meditate live with us. I was thinking of the quote by Rumi, "Listen to the silence. It has so much to say." You know, right now, while all this is going on, we have these moments to become silent and see what comes up for us. And right now, a lot of what's coming up for so many of us, so many of the people I talk to, so many of my friends, is fear and is grief. Grief is coming up. Grief for, the life that we're not having right now, this loss of the expectations we had, this loss of what we thought April was going to be. And then for some of us, it is the loss of some of our family members. Then we have this fear of what's going to happen, fear about how much time this is all going to take, how long this will last. And these emotions can be very heavy on the heart. I talked a little bit the other day about them. And so when silence comes up, we offer this place just to let those emotions rise and fall. Because through this practice, we start to understand and start to see how everything is temporary, even some of these heavier emotions, even some of these that feel like they're stuck in our heart, that they also come and go. And throughout the day, we actually experience not only these emotions, but many more, even in times of pain, even in times of loss. What we start to see is that there are still these moments where everything releases, are these little moments of joy, just like the hummingbird flying into my patio just then, these little moments of joy. And then we also will feel these waves of pain or these waves of grief. And really, when we sit in silence, aloha, actually Jess, who I was just talking about, just appeared here in the meditation. We start to see that in these moments, these pauses, that we aren't weighed down into one emotion. We aren't a solid thing that will only be one way forever. And this is how we practice learning to ride these waves of the different emotions as they come in. And as we slow down, we see that we are actually experiencing many different things over time. So even when there's pain, still joy comes creeping in. And that's what I love about sitting in silence and what this practice has just brought into my life, because I would get wrapped up into things only being one way forever. And that's not to discount any of the fear. It's not to discount any of the grief or any of the pain. It's only to help us as we move through all of them, so that we can move through and we can release things as they come and go. And really, for me, silence has been the greatest teacher. And so I'll give you a little bit of direction at the beginning, just to follow your breath. And we'll just take a couple minutes in silence together. And you may hear different noises around you, or the birds from my backyard. And as you hear them, that is another way just to be present, to hear the sounds. Your mind may start to go off into a story about what it is, and you just come back to the breath. Just come back to the sound. We can use many things to keep us here in the present. And if emotion comes up, you just continue to breathe. The emotion will come. It may feel stuck for a moment. Eventually, you'll start to feel it pass away as you build longer and longer meditations into your practice. So with that, we're going to take some moments to honor wherever we're at, to honor those sounds of silence. So when you feel ready, close your eyes. We're going to spend these next few moments listening to the silence and everything that silence has to say. So start to bring your attention onto your breath. Maybe the breath as it enters your nose, or perhaps on the rising and falling of your heart, or the rising and falling of your belly. Wherever is easiest to you, bring all that attention, all that awareness, all that focus to this present moment and the breath as it enters and exits your body. next in-breath, take a deep breath in through your nose and sigh it out through your mouth. A deep breath in through your nose and sigh it out. One final deep breath in and sigh it out. Come back into your body. You can stretch your neck, stretch out your hands and your toes. And when you feel ready, blink your eyes open. Thank you for joining me this morning. I wanted to share a little bit of my experience with that meditation, actually, just as sort of as an example of what the mind sometimes does. As soon as we started to be silent, a noise came in from the road outside of my house. Somebody might be moving. It started to make the sound of things, boxes being lifted, things like that. And all of a sudden I had that hit of, oh, of course, right as we were trying to be silent, now there's this noise and everybody's gonna hear it through my phone. I have no idea if you did or not. It's happening right now too. And then I thought, oh, and I should explain this to everybody at the end. And it was just that moment of come back to the breath, come back to the breath. I just need to notice that the thought happened and I can come back. Because your mind, it will just start to kind of take you away. And in this moment, all we need to do is sit here and be together. But it happens to all of us. It is what the mind does. So it's my wish that this may have brought some peace and calm into your day, and that may extend out into the world, into these uncertain times. I will see you again on Wednesday, and tomorrow another one of our teachers will be back here at 10:30 a.m. for our social distancing bliss meditations. Namaste. Thank you so much.